Hello everyone! Welcome po sa ating Math-Isip YouTube channel where you can find free Tagalog mathematics tutorial. Our goal here in this channel is to make math easier to understand. So kung first time mo po sa ating YouTube channel, I encourage you to click the subscribe button para po updated tayo sa mga susunod pang mga lessons. And to our fellow teachers, we offer our PowerPoint products, yung mga ginagamit po nating mga presentations dito sa ating video tutorial. Kung sa tingin nyo po ay makakatulong ito sa inyong pagtuturo, you can check the link in the description or in the comment section and send us a message on our Facebook page. These materials can save your time and these are all editable according to your classroom needs. Alright, so without further ado, let's now begin with our first lesson. Ang ating unang lesson ngayon ay Measures of Central Tendency for Ungrouped Data. Okay, so welcome po sa mga bagong grade 8 natin ngayon. This is now our grade 8 revised K-12 curriculum. Okay, so in our lesson, this is our learning competency. So first, we will determine measures of central tendency of ungrouped data. And then second, we will draw conclusions from statistical data using the measures of central tendency. Ito yung pag-aaralan natin this week. Okay, so the first one, let's have a recall. Okay, alalahanin po muna natin yung mga lesson natin previously in our grade 7 mathematics. Okay, so let's see. First, we learned about statistics. Ano ba ang statistic? Statistics is a branch of mathematics that involves collecting, organizing, presenting, analyzing, and interpreting data to help us make informed decision. For you to memorize this easier, I recommend this acronym, okay? COPI. Ano pong ibig sabihin ng COPI? C stands for collecting, O stands for organizing, P stands for presenting, A is for analyzing, and I is for interpreting. So, laging tandaan, what is statistics? It's COPI. Okay, these are all the 5 process needed in statistics. Okay, ano po yung pinaka-importanting bagay sa statistics? Alright, if you remember it, it is actually data. Alright, ano po ang data? Data refers to information such as facts and numbers used to analyze something or to make decision. It can come in various forms such as numbers, words, measurements, or observations, and is often used to gain insights, answer questions, or solve a problem. So yung mga scores nyo po sa isang exam or quiz, lahat po yan ay data. Yung attendance nyo po araw-araw sa loob ng classroom, yan po ay ginagamit ng inyong teachers and advisors to study the data para po malaman natin kung papasa kayo or hindi sa grade 8. And I hope, I believe, lahat po kayo na nakikinig at nanonood nito, makakapasa kayo this school year. Okay, now let's recall the different types of data. Okay, remember in grade 7, we learned about the 2 types of data. Okay, natatandaan nyo pa ba yung dalawang klase ng data? Yes, there is actually what we call a qualitative data and a quantitative data. Now, in order for us to remember the examples and definition, let's have a short exercise. Okay, identify whether the following data is quantitative or qualitative. Okay, you can actually pause this video if you want to answer this all at once. Okay, so let's do it one by one. All right, number one, we have here general average. Okay, well, this is a quantitative data. Okay, number two, ano po ang civil status? Okay, example is married, single. Okay, so ano po ito? Is this qualitative or quantitative? Okay, yes, this is qualitative. Number three, the annual income. Okay, or yung isang taon na sahod or sweldo. This is quantitative. Okay, number four, years in school. Okay, this is also quantitative. Number five, educational attainment, whether this is high school graduate, college graduate. Okay, yun po ay qualitative data. Number six, skin color, light, fair, dark. This is qualitative. Number seven, age. Of course, this is quantitative. And number 8, number of children, also quantitative. And number 9, weight, this is quantitative. And then number 10, social class, upper class, middle class. Okay, ito po ay qualitative. Okay, so I hope nakuha nyo perfectly. It means you can actually remember the definition of quantitative and qualitative data. Okay, ito po yung definition ng qualitative and quantitative data. Okay, so for qualitative, this is the qualitative data describes qualities, characteristics, or categories and cannot be measured in numbers. So it can be the names, labels, katulad po nung subtypes na pinag-aralan natin last year in your grade 7. These are actually the nominal data. And then pwede rin pong ordinal or yung may order, like for example this one, satisfaction level. Okay, we have here satisfied, somewhat satisfied, and not satisfied. These are nominal and ordinal data. We also had the quantitative data. Quantitative data represents quantities or amounts and can be measured or counted. Meaning, this can be your height. Okay, it can be a whole number. Okay, ang tawag natin doon ay discrete type of quantitative data. And we also have here, yes, like for example, the number of books in the shelves or the temperature. Ito na po yung tinatawag nating continuous kasi ito po ay may decimal na. Alright? So these are all the definitions of types and subtypes of data that we had in your grade 7 mathematics. If you want to review those, you can actually click and watch the videos, previous videos in our grade 7 playlist. Okay, proceed na po tayo sa ating main topic, which is the measures of central tendency for ungrouped data. But first, ano po muna ang ungrouped data? Okay, when you say ungrouped data set, this is not categorized or group. Kaya po siya tinawag na ungroup. Okay, wala pong groupings. Okay, wala pong groupings. Examples po ng mga dataset natin ay yung naibigay po natin kanina during the exercise, yung general average, okay, yung weight, and then yung skin color. All right. Specific examples on general average is this one, general average of students in your class. Okay, examples are, these are the grades. Okay, we have here grades of 5 students, 90, 85, 88, 79, and 93. We also have here weight of students in your school. Okay, examples are 38.3 kilograms, 47.4 kilograms, 31.9 kilograms, and 52.16 kilograms. Okay, ano pa po? Skin color. We also have here skin color of people around the world. So we have fair, light, medium, dark, very dark. Okay, and many more actually. These are just general skin color. Now, when it comes to data, data set can be very large, no? Ito is just a portion, no? Or simple examples lang po itong mga ito. But data set can be very large. Imagine, if this is the weight of students in your school, ilang estudyante ba ang meron sa isang school? Napakadami. Also, the skin color, ilang tao ba ang nasa buong mundo? Napakarami. So, it can be very large. The question is, what single number or element best represents our data? Okay? Halimbawa dito sa general average, no? 90, 85, 88, 79, 93, and so on and so forth. So, sa dinami-dami ng students sa isang classroom, paano mo i-represent using only one number or using only one grade yung kabuuan ng grades ng isang classroom or section? Okay, ganun din po dito sa weight. Gaano kabigat ang student sa isang school? So with all the weights in a school, paano natin siya i-represent using only one value? Okay, and also with this one, skin color, no? So lahat po ito ay nasasagot ng ating topic, which is measures of central tendency. Now, what is central tendency? Let us read. Measures of central tendency are a single value that attempts to describe a set of data by identifying the central position within the data set. Okay, yung gitna ng data. Yun po yung hinahanap natin dito sa measures of central tendency. Okay, so another term for this is central location. We can also say typical value and just the simple center, no? Yun lang po, no, yung gitna ng data. That's the meaning of central tendency. Now, there are three measures of central tendency. Tatlo po yan. So we have the first one, mean. Second one is median. And the third one is mode. Etong tatlong ito, these are all measures or metrics in measuring the central tendency. Okay, so unahin po natin yung mean. Okay, so let's start with mean. Okay, ano po ang mean? So mean is the sum of the data values divided by the number of values. Okay? This is actually what we call the average. Ito na po yung tinatawag nating averaging, no? Paano po ang formula nito? In finding the mean of ungrouped data, we use the formula mean is equal to the summation of x over n. Okay? Ano po ang ibig ulit sabihin ng mga values na to? This one, x bar, yung may bar po sa taas, ito po yung symbol kadalasan na ginagamit for mean. Okay? And then we have here the sigma notation, a Greek symbol meaning summation. Okay? Ia-add mo lahat. Okay? And then ano po ang ia-add? Yung x or the individual values. And then, kung summation x, ibig sabihin yan, sum of values, no? And then we have here n, capital letter N. This refers to the total number of values. So ito po yung ating formula. Okay, in short, we can just say mean is equal to the sum of data. I-add mo po lahat ng data and then divided by the number of data points. I-divide mo yung na-add mo na data sa number of data. Okay? So to understand this, let's have an example. If we have here the data set, we have here 4, 5, 9, 10, and 12. Bali, ilang numbers po ito? There are 5 numbers. Okay, magkakaibang numbers. Now, let's get the mean of these numbers. Okay, or the average of these numbers. So first, we have here mean x bar is equal to 4 plus 5 plus 9 plus 10 plus 12. Pinag-add po natin lahat. And then, i-divide natin over 5. Okay? Bakit po 5? There are 5 numbers here in total. So, we will have 40 ang kanyang sum. And then, divided by 5, we will get 8. So, our mean is 8. Okay, ganun lang po kadali, no? Getting the average or mean. Example number 2. Okay? Yung quarterly grade ninyo sa math. Okay, halimbawa lang po, ano, we have first grading, nakakuha ka ng 88. Second grading, nakakuha ka ng 90. And then third, 92. And then fourth, medyo nag-relax ka ng konti, bumaba ng isa, 91. Okay, so paano mo makukuha yung average ng math subject mo? So we have here the mean is equal to, i-add mo lahat yan, 88 plus 90 plus 92 plus 91 divided by 4 quarters, you will get 90.25. So our mean is 90.25. So gusto mo rin bang magkaroon ng ganitong grade or higit pa? Well, MathIsip is here to help you. Kaya click mo na yung subscribe button at saka yung notification bell para lagi kang updated sa mga bagong lessons. Alright? So now let's proceed sa ating susunod na measure of central tendency, which is median. Okay, so ano ang median? Alright, so median is the middle value when the data is ordered from least to greatest or vice versa. Okay, paano po yan? If the number of data points is odd, the median is the middle value. If the number of data points is even, the median is the average of the two middle values. So dito, kailangan din natin nung concept ng mean or yung average, lalo na kung ang number of data natin ay even, no? Kapag add siya, ang kukunin lang natin is yung gitna. Alright, madali lang. So let's have some examples later. But now, ito po yung mga symbols na ginagamit natin. The most common symbol for median is MED or MDN. Minsan naman, ang ginagamit is yung X tilde or yung merong symbol po dito. Instead of bar, we make use of the X tilde. Okay? Ito po yung itsura niya. Now, let's proceed to the examples. Okay? So, ulitin natin. Ang formula lang natin is arrange the data from least to greatest o di kaya ay greatest to least. Any po, vice versa. And then find the middle value. So, we have here an example. We have data set 9, 4, 12, 10, and 5. So, anong gagawin natin dito? I-arrange lang po natin siya. So, if we're going to arrange this, magiging 4, 5, 9, 10, and 12. And then kukunin natin yung gitna. Ano po ang gitna? It's 9. Therefore, our median is 9. Okay? Next, another example, if we have here the weight of students, just like our previous one, example kanina, yung weight of students natin, we have 38.3, meron ding 47.4 kilograms po ito ha, 31.9 and 52.16. Bale, meron tayong apat na data dito. So, if we're going to get the median, how are we going to get the middle kung wala naman siyang gitna? May nakikita ba kayong gitna dito sa apat na values? Actually, wala po. Kaya ang gagawin natin is, una, we will get the average of these two, 38.3 and 47.4. Make sure lang po na naka-arrange siya. Okay? Itong nandito sa first line, hindi po ito naka-arrange. Okay, dito sa second line, naka-arrange na po yan. Okay, so hindi po natin pwedeng kunin yung gitna kung hindi pa siya naka-arrange. Alright, so kunin lang natin yung average nung dalawang gitna. We have here 38.3 and then 47.4 divided by 2. The answer is 85.7 divided by 2 is 42.85. Ito na po yung mean nung dalawang number. Therefore, this is now the median. Okay, remember, if odd set, the median is the middle value. And if even set, the median is the average of the two middle values. Pero huwag kakalimutan, always arrange first your data set. Okay, for our last central tendency, we have here the mode. Okay, ano po ang mode? Alright, mode is the value that appears most frequently in the set of data. Okay, to find the mode, you need to count how many times each value appears. And the value that appears the most is the mode, yung pinakamadami doon sa ating data set. Okay, example nito, ito, 1, 2, 3. Ilang beses po naulit yung 3? 2 beses. So, ibig sabihin, ito na po yung ating mode. Okay, let's have more example. Tandaan lang, mode is the value that appears most often. Okay, so we have here 314344. Ano po dyan ang mode natin? Okay, our mode there is 4 kasi ilang beses siya nag-appear? 3 beses. Okay, so our mode is 4. Okay, another example, we have here the set 1, 0, 5, 14, 14, 7, 2, 3, 7. So, ano po ang ating mode dito? Okay, some of you might say 14, some of you might say 7. Or pwede kayang dalawa ang mode. Tignan po natin. So we have here the mode. This is actually 14 and 7. Okay, so bale dalawa po ang mode natin. Kung dalawang beses po naulit yung 14, dalawang beses din naulit yung 7, parehas sila ng number of frequency. Sila ang pinaka madami na nag-appear doon sa data natin. Then, both of them are mode. Okay? So, ang tawag po natin dyan ay bimodal. Okay? Coming from the affix bi, which means 2, dalawa po yung mode natin. Okay? Another example, we have here example number 3. Okay, we have here 2, 1, 5, 13, 8, and 6. Ano naman po ang mode dito? Meron po ba kayong nakikitang number na nauulit? Okay, wala po. So, ang mode natin ay none. Okay, for you to practice and master our topic, I have here some exercise na pwede nating sagutan so that we can measure the central tendency, mean, median, and mode. Pero bago yan, commercial break muna tayo para sa mga teachers. Okay, so let's review first. Ano ba ang mean? This is the average. Ang median, remember, this is the middle value. Okay, and then mode, this is the most often number. Alright, so the first one, exercise number 1, we have here a problem. Okay, a real life problem. It says here, the shoe size of the members of a basketball team are 7, 9, 11, 8, 8, 8, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 8. Now, compute for the measures of central tendencies. So, hindi lang isang klase. Kailangan compute natin yung tatlo. Okay? So, we have the mean, median, and mode. So, let's start with the mean. Okay? Let's solve for the mean. By the way, if you want to practice on your own, pwede nyo naman pong i-pause ito and then try to answer and then compare it with our answer here in this video. Okay, so the first one is mean. Okay, we have here, add all the values. I-add lang po natin silang lahat. And then divide it by how many values? There are 11 values. Therefore, ang makukuha natin is 93. Pag pinag-add natin silang lahat, divided by 11, we have 8.4545 and so on and so forth. Repeating number po siya. So, ang gagawin lang natin is, pwede natin siyang i-round off. Okay, so we have here 8.45 in the second decimal place. Alright, our answer is 8.45. Okay, yan po yung average na shoe size nila. Next one is the median. So first, we have to arrange them. Okay, dito we arrange them in an increasing order. So we have here the middle, which is 8. So ang ating median ay 8. Okay, this is the middle because this is already an odd number. Okay, hindi na natin kailangang mag-averaging. Next one, we have here the mode or the most frequent. So our mode here is yung 8. Ilang beses siya nag-appear? 5 times. So our mode is also 8. Okay? So ganun lang po ang gagawin natin for word problems. Okay, let's try it here in exercise number 2. I can give you time. You can pause this and then sagutan nyo muna on your own. Okay, I hope you are now ready. Let's see your answer. So the solution for mean, we just add all the numbers. By the way, this is the scores for a math quiz of 12 students in grade 8 class. Okay? So ito po yung scores nila. Pinag-add natin and then i-divide natin sa 12 because there are 12 students. So we have 92 in total divided by 12. Our answer is 7.66. Repeating number pa rin siya. So we can actually round it off. 7.67. Next, for our median, we have to arrange it first. Kung napapansin nyo, we don't have a middle value kasi nga po this is an even number of data. So ang gagawin natin, kukunin natin yung gitnang dalawa and then kunin natin yung mean. How? We can just add those two numbers, 7 plus 8, and then divide it by 2. Bakit by 2? Kasi dalawa sila. Alright, ganun lang po yun. So we have 7.5. Okay, this is now the median. Now for the mode, ilan po ang nakikita nyong mode dito? Okay, if you notice, there are actually 3, 6, 7, tsaka 9. So lahat yan ay mode, all of them. Ang tawag na natin dyan ay multimodal. Okay, kasi there are actually more than 2 modes already. Pag dalawa, ano po ulit ang tawag? Bimodal. Pag 3 or more, we call it multimodal. Okay? Alright, for exercise number 3, okay? Try to read this first. Pwede nyong i-pause muna and then try to answer the question, no? So here we have, in an international class, students identified their skin tone using 5 categories. We have here fair, light, medium, dark, and very dark. Okay? Ito yung kanilang responses, no? Because this is an international class, syempre madaming kulay yan. We have dark, dark, very dark, medium, light, light, dark, very dark, medium, fair, dark, and medium. Yan lahat yung responses nila. So ilang student po lahat to? Okay, by the way, ilang student lahat to? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There are 12 students. Now the question is, what measure of central tendency is appropriate and what is its value? Pwede ba ang mean dito? Okay, hindi po pwede. Kasi ang ating value, ang ating data ay hindi po siya numerical. Pwede po ba ang median? Hindi rin po pwede. Okay, because this is a qualitative type of data. Okay, specifically a nominal type of data. So, our only option is mode. Okay, because data is nominal. Hindi po natin pwedeng ikuhanan ng average, no? Kaya pwede rin po tayong gumamit ng measures of central tendency when it comes to nominal type of data. Okay? At ano po ang sagot natin? What is the value of our central tendency? The value is dark. Why? Because dark is the most often answer here in their responses. Okay? Yun po ang ating lesson for the measures of central tendency. Bigyan ko lang po kayo ng trivia, by the way, for exercise number 3. Did you know that people who live in or near the equator, such as the Philippines, Indonesia, Brazil, and many African countries, tend to have darker skin tones? Ito po yung equator natin, no? Kung mapapansin nyo, yung mga countries malapit sa equator, they tend to have darker skin. Kasama na po ang Philippines dyan. Okay? That's because melanin, the pigment in our skin, provides natural protection from the sun's ultraviolet rays, no? May gamit din po kasi yung ating dark skin, no? Kasi kung mainit ang ating lugar malapit sa equator, tropical countries, kailangan natin ng darker skin tone para may protection tayo sa araw. So, next time, skin color doesn't define your value, no? Wag po tayong maging insecure sa ating mga kulay, no? It reflects your ancestry and environment. So, lagi lang po nating tandaan, we are going to respect the color of every individual. Maitim man 'yan, maputi, okay? Kasi may dahilan din po 'yan, no? Ginawa po 'yan ng Panginoon para sa ating protection. Okay? So again, please don't be insecure about your skin tones. At lagi tayong maging proud sa ating kulay. Kasi ang Pilipino, ang kulay natin ay kayumanggi. Meron din pong mga maputi like chinita, no, mga mestiza, pero lahat po yan ay merong dahilan. At ang ating skin color, it doesn't define our value. Okay, so yun lang po ang ating lesson for today. And if you want to answer this activity, para po meron kayong mastery sa ating lesson, you can pause this video. You can answer this on your own para ma-practice mo yung natutunan mo sa ating lesson ngayon. You can even share your answer by writing it in the comment section. Okay, so God bless in answering this activity. And thank you very much for listening. I hope to see you again on the next video. God bless for now and bye-bye. Kung meron kang natutunan sa video na ito, please click the subscribe button to support this channel para mas matulungan ulit kita sa mga susunod mo pang math lessons. Lagi mong tatandaan, ang math ay para sa lahat. At ako si Teacher Van, nagsasabing dito sa Math Isip, lamang ang nag-iisip. God bless and see you on the next video. Bye-bye.